What's going on, guys? King Shrats here, back in the video on the channel, and today we have hot dogs. Actually, this was a rough travel. I will talk about it later, but went to a place called the Hot Dog House. It is located in Carlstadt, New Jersey. I heard a lot of good things about this place. It has a 4.8 on Google and a 4.4 on Yelp. So I got a bunch of hot dogs from here. Now, if you don't know, New Jersey and, well, most of the top half of the country has been experiencing some pretty crazy weather recently. We had a bunch of snow, and then we had some flooding, and some of the region that I didn't realize until I was on my way home is still flooded. So it took me a lot longer to get home. I wanted to actually do the review in the car, but by the time I got off the highway, it was like, so this food is not hot, or I'm being honest, like it's not like super hot. It's hot dogs, so it still shouldn't be that bad, but I got a bunch of stuff from here, as well as a sausage. I wanted to try a sausage, so that's the sausage. Doesn't look bad, but I'm not gonna complain. I just wanted to let y'all know ahead of time that this food isn't like super hot. It's like lukewarm, but you know, some people have like issues with that, but I want to be honest. Anyway, we got some corn nuggets. We got a bunch of hot dogs. We got 3 hot dogs and some corn nuggets, and we're gonna try these bad boys out. We're gonna rate them, we're gonna chop it up, we're gonna talk. Let's get into the video. All right, let's start off with the first one. This is called the Lily Kraut dog. Now, they have a popular sauerkraut, apparently called Lily Kraut, that is tossed with butter and garlic and then sauteed. It also has mustard on it, so that's what that is. Now, these look like what I call in New Jersey a dirty water dog. They're usually hot dogs sitting in that like water. Pretty popular around here. Let's see if they have a snap. Hopefully they do. No, this is straight up dirty water dog. That is a term of affection here for anybody who thinks it's derogatory. We just call it that. When you get hot dogs from the push carts in the city or from a lot of the trucks, they're sitting in water for a very long time. That's what I would guess these are. There's not much of a snap to them. The bun is pretty standard fare. The Lily Kraut, I kind of want to try this on its own. It's definitely very sweet, buttery, which is different. The mustard that they're using is spicy mustard, thank goodness. It's not a bad hot dog. It's different from what I'm used to, and the kraut just tastes like a much sweeter sauerkraut. I'm not really getting much garlic from it, but I do get a ton of butter, so it's super heavy. It's really not something that I would get again, but it was nice to try it. I would give it a 5 out of 10. I like it, but I definitely don't love it. I would just pick something else personally. Next up, we have Big Blue. Big Blue is a chili dog with sauerkraut, as well as cheese. So they have hot or mild chili. I got hot. Same hot dog, so we don't have to go with that. How the toppings working though? That I like. That I like. Chili's got a nice kick to it. It's pretty spicy. Not overly spicy, but spicy enough to know that I'm eating hot and not mild. But it really does kick everything up with that chili cheese on here. This is just regular sauerkraut. The Lily Kraut thing is cool. It's just not for me. I more prefer this kind. You can see the chili when you kind of get in here. This just reminds me of all the hot dogs I eat up. What the hell did I just say? Let me try that again without editing. This reminds me of the hot dogs I grew up eating from the trucks. Hot dog trucks are really popular around here. Like, you don't see them as much as growing up in the 90s, but back then at the parks or wherever you were, there was usually a hot dog truck. And we used to get them all the time. There was a place growing up, I'll tell you, it don't matter at this point, called Cousin Joe's. I remember this like it was yesterday. And I think my pops grew up eating it, so we ate it too. It's no longer there, but back then he used to put all kinds of crazy stuff on hot dogs, but I used to just like getting chili dogs. I never ate sauerkraut until I became an adult. Real talk. But that reminds me of that. This is good. I'll eat those all day. Give it 8.5 out of 10. It's nothing like exceptional, like elite, you gotta try this good, but that to me is a quintessential New Jersey hot dog truck type of hot dog. And I rock with it all day. Now here's where we start getting just a little bit weird. But I wanted to try something different, something I have never had before, and this fit the mold. Now what you're looking at is a jalapeno popper hot dog. So it has cheddar cheese, bacon, jalapeno peppers, Tabasco sauce, and that is sour cream. Sour cream. This is spicy as hell. There's a ton of jalapenos on here. There's also a pretty decent amount of Tabasco. I can taste it all throughout. The funny part is the sour cream. This is interesting. It's hot. The sour cream I can't really taste. Like, I get the texture from it, but there's so much more going on that it kind of does give off jalapeno popper on a hot dog. The cheddar cheese is tasted throughout it too as well. These are what look like just like the Hormel bacon bits. And I don't mind them. It's hotter than I thought it would be. I don't know why I like that, but I do. Would I pick that every single time I went? No. Is that something that I found interesting and would get again? Yes. Is it spicy as hell? Not as hell. That's a good spicy. Scale of 1 to 10, I give it like a 6. Like, it's a good spicy. But I would get this again. It's surprisingly good. I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. I like it. This is a hot sausage. It is not a hot dog. And what it has on it is mustard, spicy peppers, and onions, as well as red potatoes. Now, potatoes are a common thing in my area on hot dogs. I know it sounds weird, but most hot dog places, you can get potatoes and cheese or potatoes and it is normal. Here, if you've never tried it, Italian hot dogs are also a variation of that. It just, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's like fries on a hot dog or something like that, but the potatoes are usually round or square, little chopped up pieces and then seasoned up. That's what this looks like. Normally I would get this on a hot dog, but I got it on a sausage. I think this is gonna be good. Jesus. It's not bad. Let me try one of these potatoes by itself. This just tastes like a New Jersey hot dog place to me. I know it's so hard to explain, but now this costs $6. I just sound like an old man because I remember when stuff like this used to cost like $3, but I'm pretty sure this is normal price at this point. The potatoes just add a little bit of a texture thing to it, and there's a good amount of spice because it's a hot sausage, not a mild. And of course, the addition of the mustard, I would have probably, if I was picking, gotten something to cut through all of the salty, spicy, maybe something like, honestly, the lily kraut would probably go good on this. Let's try it. Let's try the lily kraut because it's sweet. It might cut through that. Let's do that. That works. The kraut's not bad. You have to get it with something. This sausage is, this is pretty standard. It's good. There's nothing about this that screams great, but that's not a bad thing. Sometimes you just want a decent lunch, and this place just seems like it is a decent lunch. It's not doing anything that's out of the ordinary. There are a good amount of places like this in New Jersey, and this is just seems like it's right in that category. I like this. I would actually prefer getting this over the hot dog, but it is a difference of like $3 extra. I'd rather just get the hot dog for that much. I would give this a 6.5 out of 10. It's good. We have some corn nuggets. Now, corn nuggets are literally what they sound like. So inside of these, it's usually just corn niblets. I love these. I'm pretty sure they got these from a box. Now, they don't look uniform, so maybe they didn't. I don't know. These are sweet, though, and a little bit salty, and it almost has the texture of cream corn in them. I like these. Honestly, you want to eat real quick? I know y'all think it's weird. Yeah. These never miss for me. I've yet to have a bad one of those. One of the better things I've had from here. Okay, I have to go back to this for 1 second. I'm sorry for going all over the place. That lily kraut is really good with other stuff. Alone, you can't, it's not going to carry something, but it's a great complementary thing. Just an FYI. I want to digress with that, but these, they don't miss. One of the best things that I eat from any place, and I'm just a sucker for these, so excuse me if I rate these probably too high than most people think, but it's going to be the highest rated thing I've done here so far with an 8.7 out of 10. They just don't miss for me. I know sometimes people, if you don't see me rating things like a 9, will think that I don't like something. Anything that I give a 6 or above to me is good. I want to make that clear because sometimes, and again, I don't really think, I think most people understand that, but I'm only telling you this for one reason and one reason only. I just like to be clear about things. I understand that sometimes if I don't rate something high and you do, it might ruffle your feathers or something like that. I can't help that. I'm just being honest, and that's cool, but I still want to make sure that I'm clear when I say certain things, only for the sake of the businesses and anything around it. If I rate something a 6 or above, that means I like it. That means I'd eat it again. If I rate something a 9, that means it's like elite. Anything in the 6 to 8 range to me is a restaurant that I would visit if I were you, because my 6 might be your 8. It would be the equivalent of you having a girlfriend and me saying I think she's kind of attractive and you thinking she's gorgeous. That's still very valid. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that as an insult. I'm just saying you have to find your 10. So my taste buds might not align with yours. I just want it to be known that if something is below a 5 at that point, like, it's not even cooked right. That's when I start getting the below thing. But if something is cooked correctly, in my opinion, I give it at least a 5 because this is my rating system. Again, I'm just explaining mine. I give it at least a 5 because you might like it more than me, but if it's just like, I say mid, you say average, you say whatever it is, that's a 5. That's just average. Like, it's just cooked well, probably not seasoned right, there's something wrong with it, so it's not great, and that's that. If it's a 4, then it's not cooked right, and then there's something else. If I give it something a 1 or a 2, it is literally inedible. I cannot chew it, I cannot eat it, I don't want it, I will not even look at it. That's usually where I go with my stuff. I don't think I've ever like given you categories and stuff like that of why I rate things, and some people are like, why wouldn't you give something this, that, or the third? So that's where I'm coming from. Anything that's around a 3 or a 4 is not really cooked right, and also just to me doesn't taste good. You get what I'm saying? Or doesn't taste like anything. Anything that's a 5 to me is just average. Like, you can get it anywhere. 6s and 7s are when you start getting into, oh, this is good or pretty good. Obviously, 8 means something is very good. Anything 9 to me is just like elite, you've got to try this. Anything that's a 10 is literally perfect, I wouldn't change a thing about it. I've only given out probably like 5 or 6 10s out of, at this point, I've been doing this like, what, almost 1,000 videos? I would say of those 1,000, I would say like half of them have been reviews. Maybe more. So 500 or 600 videos, I've given like 5 or 6 10s. I want people to kind of understand where I'm coming from with the ratings. Now, also with that, I rate things to scale. Meaning, this I would rate on a scale of hot dog places and things of that nature that I've had. I do not have one scale for everything. Some people who rate things have everything on one scale, which I get. I do not. I rate fast food against other fast food. I rate mom and pop restaurants against other mom and pop restaurants. I rate high-end restaurants. You get the idea. So everything I rate towards a scale. So if I give a Papa John's pizza an 8.5, I am only rating it against other franchise pizza places, if you understand what I'm saying. So that's not every pizza I've ever eaten. It's Papa John's, Little Caesars. I rated Costco pizza on that scale because people were comparing it to chain pizza. In my opinion, Costco pizza on a pizza chain scale is very average. I understand some people said it's better. That's your taste buds, but that's my opinion. So I do have some sort of rhyme or reason. When you start seeing the points in between that, I'm breaking it down for once. When you start seeing the points in between that, it's because I had something similar that was slightly lower or higher than that. So if I gave something an 8.6, that means I had something else that was an 8.5, and this is a little bit better than that. It's not a uniform system, and I know some people think you're throwing things out, but it's almost like going with averages or something. I get where people are coming from. No, I don't have a completely uniform system, and everything is off my head, but if I think of something in my head that's an 8.6, I know exactly what I'm looking at in my head. So it's not just like I'm throwing numbers out, but it is like I'm just throwing numbers out. Does that make sense? I hope it did. I wanted to talk about that only because I know there are some people who ask, like, why do you give this and that? And it's a good question. You know, I'm just, again, doing this to make myself clear. I think sometimes people think when I address things, I'm offended by it, and I'm not. I don't really get offended by much because I think that everybody has a right to their opinion, and I can agree or disagree with you. That's cool. But I will always go out of my way to try to explain things just because I like to make sense. I have a coaching background. I have an athletic background, and I think that the only bad thing that you can have is assumption or a missed question. Like, there's no stupid question, because it's better to be clear on things. I would rather over-explain something than you not know. So that's where I come from. As far as this place goes, I think it's good. It's not great. It's good. It is good. Would I eat here again? Yes. I can guarantee you that a place like this has regulars and people go there all the time and they swear by it. I'm just not one of those people. Doesn't make it bad or good. My opinion ain't the gospel. I just wanted y'all to know that the weather sucks right now, so I wanted to try to do some things. I'm going to still try to do them so that I can put out, like, my weekends are when I can travel a little bit more. But right now, there's still a lot of flooded roads, and we've got more inclement weather coming on the way. So I'm kind of rolling with the punches. But, you know, there's nothing to complain about. I'm just informing you. Anyway, I appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure you stay tuned tomorrow. I got some stuff coming. Hopefully I can do it. But with the weather, I don't know. We'll be back tomorrow. More content, man. I love y'all, the hand signs. They made it to YouTube.